Yo, what's happening everybody? King GBL here and welcome back to another Go Battle League video. Today we're featuring some gameplay with Diggersby, Noctowl and Galarian Stunfisk. Diggersby can actually put in a lot of work in the Open Great League. Currently there's a lot of teams running like double steel, or they've got a steel type in the back, which is obviously meant to deal with Noctowl and all of the flyers in the meta currently. So I decided it might be nice to run Diggersby in this meta because it basically beats Registeel, Galarian Stunfisk, Bastiodon, Lantern. It can even beat Trevenant in certain shielding scenarios with the Fire Punch. So Diggersby is a very versatile Pokemon, and it can actually tank 2 Earthquakes from a Galarian Stunfisk, which makes it just a very versatile Pokemon. Before we do get into the video today, man, I want to say thank you everybody who's dropped a sub and dropped a like. This is a brand new channel, so I do want to get to know you guys a little bit. Let me know in the comments down below where you guys are watching from. I personally am playing these games from Japan, that's where I live, and I'm from Northern Ireland. And I want to ask you guys, what length of video do you guys personally prefer? Do you guys like the 10 minute, 15 minute, 20 or even longer videos? Let me know in the comment section down below. Anyway, I've pretty much hard countered the opponent's team here. They led in obviously with the Toxicroak. And here comes Diggersby versus Lantern. This is an interesting matchup. I think we can tank maybe 2 Surfs. Let's have a look here. Does about maybe 35-40% damage. So we can definitely survive maybe 2. Especially if they're not running Water Gun. You have a very, very positive matchup here. The Lantern will get off another Surf. And Diggersby can just eat this, honestly. Diggersby is a fantastic Pokemon. We farm up to the Fire Punch. Back in comes the Toxicroak. This Fire Punch does a lot of damage to Toxicroak. Have a look at that. Does about 30% damage. He does manage to get the farm down, but we're in no real danger here. We've got a shield. We might as well shield up the potential Sludge Bomb, which it is. I think we do survive that Sludge Bomb. I potentially could have went for the Shield Flicks, but there's no point. We might as well just farm it down. Diggersby has a lot of great matchups in the Great League. You do have to obviously watch out for things like Medicham, Swampert, even Trevenant with the Seed Bombs can do a decent amount of damage, and of course Grass types and any Ice moves will not be welcomed by Diggersby. We've got Noctowl versus Medi here. I don't know why people are running Power Punch. I'm assuming he's running Psychic. I pretty much always assume they're running Psychic if they're running Power Punch. He just let that go, and a boosted anything here would take out the Noctowl, I think. Yeah, it is a boosted Psychic. That would absolutely shred the Noctowl. He comes back in with Sableye, and we're able to get off a Sky Attack here. I potentially could have went for the Shadow Ball, but I think the Sky Attack is absolutely fine. And we do swap out to the Diggersby, who I believe has a positive matchup against the Sableye as well. We resist the Shadow Claws. I gotta stop that. You're gonna see that a couple of times in this video. Since I've started recording on my phone, I believe it's only like 64 gigabytes. So my phone does run out of storage quite quickly recording these videos. So you'll see that popping up a couple of times. I'm trying to fight my phone and the opponent. You can see how much damage the Fire Punch is doing. It is very, very strong. And it basically forces Trevenant to throw. I was just checking my recording to make sure it's still on. And we've got the Sableye versus Noctowl. We decide to store the energy and go into Galarian Stunfisk. Get off an Earthquake, which should take out the Sableye at this range. We're just kind of playing it safe here, and the opponent realizes and top lefts, and that's a good game. Hopping into the next battle here. Noctowl versus Medicham again. Noctowl seems to pick up a lot of positive leads. You get a lot of Medicham, a lot of Swamperts, and even I've seen Chestnut quite a lot recently. Noctowl is actually quite a good lead Pokemon. So we eat this Ice Punch. We're going to go ahead and go for the Sky Attack. We'll see what the opponent wants to do here. They decide to shield it up, so it looks like the opponent wants to take Switch. I can get off another Sky Attack here if I shield, which I am going to match the shields and see if we can go for Switch. We will either get Switch or Shield Advantage here, which, you know, in either case we're going to get some sort of advantage. The opponent actually swaps out to a Talonflame. Talonflames are quite difficult for me to deal with. Noctowl obviously can get the Sky Attacks off, which does a lot of damage, and of course with the Rock Slide, it is quite good. I'm not sure if I should have let him farm me down there. I feel like that was a bit of a misplay, because I kind of just go into Diggersby just to eat this damage, because I do not want to eat Flame Charges and boosted Flame Charges on my Galarian Stunfisk. Stunfisk is obviously the more obvious answer, but I really just, I'm basically using Diggersby as a shield here. But he does go for the other Flame Charge, so we could have let that one go. We just about don't take him out, and yeah, I throw after one fast move there, not taking any risks. I just want to get rid of this Talonflame. It is a little bit of a problem. But this team, it's kind of looking a little bit rough for us here. We go for another Fire Punch before the Medi can reach an Ice Punch. And let's see what's in the back here. Let's see what's in the back. We've got the Goat. The Goat is in the back. Now, once again, we're going to store the energy, and we're going to get into our Galarian Stunfisk. We can tank 1 or 2 moves here, depending on what he throws. He's going to go for the super effective Bone Clubs, which basically do no damage. I think that done like 20% damage. Let's have a look. Yeah, so but maybe 25% or 20% damage. We can go for the big EQ here. The opponent's choices are Eat an Earthquake or Eat an Earthquake. Either way, we were going to win that match, and that's a GG. I've actually been meaning to try Alolan Marowak. I don't have a good IV Marowak, but once again here, guys, we've got another positive lead. The opponent swaps into Licky. Now, Licky, it's, I wouldn't say it's like a huge problem for this team, but there's no like super obvious answer, so we decide to chip and dip here, go into the Galarian Stunfisk. I feel like, obviously the Power Whips would do quite a lot to the Diggersby, and Stunfisk is a little bit dead weight here with the Medi, so we're just going to get off as much damage as possible here. I don't think I should be shielding anything, and the opponent does decide to shield. I actually can't remember, did I shield this back? No, I let this go wisely, I think. Because, like I said, he does actually go for the Body Slam for some reason. That's probably a misplay by the opponent. He was trying to bait that, obviously, and yep, we take out the, he actually swaps out. I'm only just realizing he just swapped out. But in comes the Medi. We're going to shield up a potential Ice Punch here, because we do want to keep this healthy. The opponent is locked in here. I only realized that now. I can't remember if I realized these battles were from a couple of days ago, so I'm not sure if I realized that at the time, but I think we can eat an Ice Punch here, so we're going to go ahead and let it go. Yeah, so we can go ahead and go for the farm down, and we'll see what's in the back. It is Big Boy Basti. I don't know why I threw the Shadow Ball, to be honest with you. Oh, actually, I do realize why I threw it, because it takes a Fire Punch and an Earthquake to take out the Bastiodon. So I would have to throw 2 moves either way. So I might as well throw the Shadow Ball and then go for the big EQ here. Good night, Bastiodon. Sleep tight. And of course, we can go ahead and farm down the Licky. That's another good game. As you guys can see, man, he's just putting in the work. Diggersby. Those Earthquakes and Fire Punches, it gives you a lot of sort of flexibility in the meta, because of course you're going to run up against Trevenant, you're going to run up against certain like grass types, so you can sort of fight back. Now, Swampert is a big problem for this team, so if you get a Swampert, try to align it to your Noctowl if possible. As you can see him shielding up straight away. I know it's only going to be a Hydro Cannon, but I think about 2 Hydro Cannons would take out the Noctowl with the Mud Shot damage, so we wanted to shield up everything here. At the very least, try to get the Swampert low, and worst case scenario, we can basically lose, a soft lose here, and come in and farm down with like Diggersby maybe. Going for another Sky Attack here. The opponent, I think, realizes that we're probably weak to it in the back, and we can actually take this quite cleanly in the 2 shields. We'll get off another Sky Attack here, and that'll get the Swampert very, very low, and we should win the opening matchup here. We're going to go ahead and go for the farm down here. He'll get another Hydro off. We can tank 2 Hydros, and it'll leave us on very low health with pretty much half a Sky Attack ready to go. We swap straight in. We do not want to get farmed down by the Azu, and we go for the Earthquake here. All of these attacks are going to basically wreck my team. I think I shouldn't have swapped in the Diggersby here, but again, I just sort of realized it was a little bit dead weight with the Azu, so I decided I want to get as much damage off on the Azu as possible with the Diggersby before it obviously gets taken out. We get the second EQ here, which is absolutely huge. As you can see, 2 EQs gets it down to farm down range, so we'll probably come in with the Galarian Stunfisk and farm all the way down here, or maybe potentially for a Rock Slide. We could even come in with the Noctowl and just kind of farm it down and keep it sort of safe. We don't necessarily want to eat an Ice Beam, and we've got an Alolan Sandslash in the back, so I'm glad I kind of let my Noctowl go, and we're going to swap straight in here. There's not really much the Sandslash can do. I think I could have just thrown a Rock Slide here, but I was just playing it safe. I know I can eat a Bulldoze very easily. It's a weak move, as you've heard all the other people talk about. Bulldoze is not a good move, and we just go for the EQ just to secure the win. That's a GG. I wasn't really sure. If you guys know, just let me know in the comments. Would a Rock Slide actually take him out from about half health? Would I be safer going for the Rock Slide? And another positive lead here, Trevenant in the lead. They're going to go into Azu. Once again, we don't really have the most obvious answer. We're going straight for this Shadow Ball here to get the most damage possible. Azumarill never really shield the first attack. And yeah, we'll eventually go into the Galarian Stunfisk here, keeping the Noctowl healthy for Trevenant. We're going to shield up an Ice Beam and go for the Earthquake. Let's see what the opponent wants to do here. He's going to go for another Ice Beam. As you can see, that does about 30% damage. We can definitely tank a couple, but with the bubble damage coming through, it can get us very, very low. So I think, you know, in either case here, we're getting shield advantage, or we're going to take out the Azu. We decide to go for the second shield here, going to make a play for switch, and farm up to 100 energy for the EQ. I feel like whenever you farm up to 100 enemy, whenever you farm up to 100 energy, the opponent tends to think that you're bluffing, so I think that's quite a good play. Baiting is quite an interesting thing in the Go Battle League. We can obviously get the Shadow Ball off, which is quite nice. That'll put it into Earthquake range. I believe the Stunfisk requires 2 Earthquakes to take out, so Diggersby should be able to come in here, but yeah, baiting is definitely a big part in the Go Battle League. One of my favourite types of baits, I want you guys to try this out. Let's say, for example, you store a move, right? You've got a Swampert, just for example, you store up to an Earthquake, and you swap it back in instantly and go for the bait. You will almost always get a shield if you do that. So that's just a little tip. Shadow Balls are... I can't believe the opponent Shadow Balled me. The opponent definitely could have won this matchup if they had just thrown the Seed Bomb. I guess they didn't realise that we've got a normal typing. And are they going to throw another Shadow Ball? Will the opponent realise 2 Fire Punches takes out the Trevenant? Are they going to throw another Shadow Ball? I think the opponent either misclicked or didn't realise that we've got normal typing. Super lucky that game, actually. I could not believe it. I was basically braced for a loss there when I seen the Trevenant come in with the no shield. And yeah, we managed to take it out with 2 Fire Punches. Diggersby is an absolute ton of fun. Unfortunately, I didn't see as many steel types as I would have liked to see. I would have liked to see more Registeels and stuff like that. Once again, another positive lead. Noctowl wins so many leads. And again, we'll just go for the usual chip and dip here. When the opponent swaps in, it's pretty hard to read the timing of the move, because there's like the delay, like there's a 1-turn lag and stuff like that. So I didn't really know what was going on there. We can eat the Ice Beam here, and we're going to farm up to another Sky Attack and just go for it here straight away. So we're actually playing these matchups like a little bit differently each time. Staying in this long with the Noctowl is definitely a misplay. I should have made a play into my Galarian Stunfisk, maybe after getting the first shield or something like that. Because of course, like, the Noctowl has such a dominant matchup against the Trevenant. I think it's kind of like I committed to a couple of fast moves and then I just kind of got locked in. It's kind of like a gambler chasing their money. I was basically like a gambler chasing their money at this point. I'm committed to it at this stage, so I'm just going to stay in and go for the switch advantage, but definitely not the correct play. It allows Trevenant to come in and actually farm us down, get a little bit of energy, and now what am I going to do? Go into Diggersby and eat Seed Bombs, hope that they throw Shadow Balls. Like, that was definitely not the play. The opponent throws a Seed Bomb. We can get off the Fire Punch and get him down pretty low, but yeah, definitely misplayed that. And we were forced to do, like, you know, unnecessary things here. We have to catch a Seed Bomb on the Galarian Stunfisk, and in comes their own Stunfisk. Now here's the question: who's going to win CMP? The opponent wins CMP. I have got an absolutely terrible Stunfisk. I can't believe I'm losing CMP, honestly. But we can get off an Earthquake here. We're trying to overfarm a little bit. And yeah, as you can see here, the opponent actually goes for the Rock Slide, which is fantastic. We're going to go for this right here. Definitely making this a lot more difficult than it had to be. And we can get off the Fire Punch in time to take out the Trevenant. If you guys do decide to run this team, if you get Medicham or Trevenant or something that Noctowl beats, and they swap into an Azu, throw a Sky Attack and dip out into Galarian Stunfisk and just go for EQs. Especially if it's a Medicham lead, Galarian Stunfisk is a little bit dead weight at the end, so you want to basically make sure that you're preserving as much as possible for the positive matchup. You can just let your Galarian Stunfisk go at times. If they have a Steel type in the back, your Diggersby is going to absolutely clean up, so I think that's definitely the way to go forward. So I was actually playing just so badly, and I decided, okay, I'm going to switch up my team here. I'm not really that comfortable. I can now see that I'm making stupid plays, but I decided to swap in. I believe this was a really strong team in Season 11 or Season 12, the Medicham lead. Medicham basically is, and by the way, what a cool Venusaur this is with the pattern. Isn't that the one from like the Mewtwo movie? Such a cool Venusaur. I realise now that I was definitely misplaying, and as I said in a previous video, I do believe there is an algorithm in Pokemon Go. Like, I've switched out my team sometimes and just seen absolutely ridiculous Pokemon. I do believe that's a thing, but you do have a lot more control over things than a lot of people would give credit for. One thing to keep in mind is, why are the best players always at the top? If the algorithm was so strong, the best players would not always consistently be at the top. So it's just something to keep in mind, and it's a good thing about recording these battles. You can actually watch your own gameplay and say to yourself, was that really the right play? Because if you're in the heat of the moment and you're trying to win a battle and you're getting frustrated, you make wrong moves, it's just natural. Go Battle League is a little bit like chess sometimes. It's about pattern recognition. You see a lead and then you see a swap and you just automatically know what to do. If somebody makes a move on the chessboard, you automatically know the best move if you've studied that line. It's the exact same thing with Go Battle League. If you know your matchups well enough, throw with good timing and don't let the enemy get unnecessary energy, and don't stay in losing matchups and don't misplay too much, you can definitely gain quite a lot of elo. Today I actually did manage to gain about 200 elo with a new team that I'll be showcasing tomorrow, so definitely come through tomorrow and check that out. It's going to be a very, very good video. But guys, thank you very much for watching to the end. I want to say a big shout out to everybody who does watch these videos to the end. Let me know if you guys prefer the longer videos, shorter videos. I think tomorrow is going to be like a 30-minute video. I went really positive with this team and I want to showcase all of the battles from that, all of the wins and losses, and obviously we can analyze everything and see what went right and what went wrong. All likes and comments help out a lot on the channel. Since a lot of you guys are new here, I'd like to get to know the community a little bit here. Let me know where you're from and what your preferred length of video is. Guys, thanks for watching, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time.